Hi Pisces, welcome to your reading for January 2022. This is going to be for Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Some of you are going to have plans in the sign of Pisces, and some of you are intuitively guided. I want to say welcome to everyone. You know, Pisces, I feel like this is for you. This is going to be a good year. I feel like this is going to be one of those years that you'll remember. You know what I mean? Like there's certain times in your life, certain years, it's like, oh, that was a good year. That's what I feel like you'll be looking back at this year. And, I just feel like it's to everything. So, we'll see. Let's see what's going on. We're going to start with Mother Mary. And then we're going to use the Tarot Dreams for you. I think I used the Light Seers last month, and I just wanted to change it up for you. We have God. I step out of the way and surrender any need for control in order to make room for God's healing love to flow through me and this situation. God. Wow, miracle. I mean, coming from the highest of all. No matter what your belief. I trust in God to know the perfect solution to this situation. You know, this is like a prayer answered. Um, you know, um, don't think it can't happen. And I'm just going to say real quick, you know, my daughter was going through something, and it's like, you know, it was like dread, and she had to move from her house because they sold it. But then at the very last moment, the ex-wife decided to sue the older kids of the man who had passed away, Jen's landlord, and because the house was supposed to go to the younger son, so now it's in court. So they just called her today and said, you know what, go ahead and stay. We don't know what's going on. So, you know, even though it's temporary, it was a miracle. Like, it felt like a miracle because it was dread. Literally, she couldn't find a place in the kids' school system. All of that. All right, let's bring the Tarot Dreams in. And, you know, it's funny, she asked me if I would do a reading for her, and I did. And in that reading, I said, it looks like there's people fighting. There's fighting going on. And it was a queen and a king, you know, so I had a feeling it was like someone, like the man who's died, wife or ex-wife. I had a feeling. So, don't think that miracles can happen. Well, okay, we open with the Ace of Swords, the Empress, the Six of Swords, Judgment, look at that, the Emperor, the Empress and the Emperor, and they're connected by this Ace of Swords. How interesting. Well, hello, Ten of Cups. I mean, what a block right there. The Empress and the Emperor in the Ten of Cups. The Ace of Swords to me is truth. at least, I don't know. I feel like if they're showing us the Empress and Empress, they must have risen to this energy. Anyway, wow. We have the Ten of Swords. Interesting. You know, Six of Swords above it does show you moving away from certain energy. Okay, well, let's keep seeing, or keep looking. We have the Two of Swords. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. Interesting. Let's move these up a little bit. I'm doing an evening reading, which to me adds an extra little ambiance to it. I don't do them very often. Okay, let's look at this. You know, we have the Ten of Cups and we have the Ten of Swords side by side. Side by side. The Ten of Swords is carrying the energy of the Two of Swords. So there's a decision. There's something, you know, first of all, judgment feels like it's, you're like, you know, I need you here. I need your attention now. It may be something that is ending. Judgment is about a rebirth, right? It's your spiritual team. You know, sometimes I feel like it's, you know, like the ascended masters, because you're not paying attention to like your spirit guide signs. So, you know, so the boss has to step in. Interesting. Um, well, I'm going to keep going. You know, I'm like a little stumped. Is this Empress and Emperor together? Um, is this talking about the potential of them coming together? I mean, only the Ten of Cups would exist, would work, right? Or the Ten of Pentacles, or both. We have the Four of Swords. It's almost like this Emperor and the Empress had to take time out, or took time out. You know, and that time out could have been 10 years. I don't know. But I feel like it was with purpose. You know, it's like the healing process, the healing time. And I often feel like when we're in that type of energy, that we're being inspired. It's not just like, okay, we're going to heal your mind. No, we're going to you know, one of the best ways to get over something is to refocus on something else. Like find something else to fall in love with. Maybe it's not a person, but maybe it's a thing. Maybe it's, you know, a subject, whatever. Because, you know, it moves you into the Eight of Pentacles energy, and that is where your focus is within creating and, you know, with purpose to create abundance, success, stability, all of that. To be the owner, to be the boss. And, you know, I almost feel like maybe each individually needed to go their own direction um, because of who they are. You know, what do I mean by that? I mean that I feel like I have couples who have like really great potential, potential to the world, potential to themselves, but also potential to the world. Um, and trust me, it is all from the experiences that we have gone through. There's no way around it. That's who the Emperor and the Empress are, right? The Empress, you know, she comes to the world with a very nurturing and loving and open type energy. She's someone who is very creative and usually, what she gives birth to um, grows. She's someone who has, I feel like, walked the paths of all the queens and has a wisdom of all of them. So, it's like, don't take me for a fool just because I'm loving. It's not that type of energy. I'm not a fool because I'm loving. And then, and the emperor is the same thing. The emperor can look at it from a different angle, though. He's looking at the plan, the foundation. It's interesting because I feel like the empress is looking at like the same thing, almost like her foundation, what she's creating, whether this has already happened or this is happening. They both seem like they are doing almost the same thing, but from different perspectives. Just as it's meant to be, though, for right now. Like one is building this part and the other is building this part. And maybe when they do come together, it's like, well, now it's a perfect union. I don't know. I'm sorry. I keep trying to say I don't know. To me, it's like etc. and so on. Okay, anyway. Anyway. We have the High Priestess, which is your intuition. Your intuition is your guide. And look at this, your intuition's like talking to you as you take this time out. This time out just to almost maybe do nothing, right? Maybe I just lay around and I read a book. But I feel like what I'm doing is taking focus off of, anything that, I don't know. Um, I think of the importance of the high priestess when you think of tarot, right? And where her position is within the tarot, right? It starts as the fool, which is you, moves to the magician who teaches you about how to manifest the tools that you already have within you, and more tools that you will develop as you go along, and they stay within your basket. So is teaching you about this physical world, but your ability to manifest through it through intention. And then who's the next person the fool meets? The high priestess. Here is your map. Follow the map. Feel free to venture off here and there, right? Like go ahead and color the map in. But here is a map. It's like being in New York and someone saying I need you in Austin, Texas. You know, not saying I want you to stop here and then stop there in this town. So, no, I just want you to get on a plane and go from one place and then be at the next. All right. So we have the Eight of Wands, kind of fills out the block, right? This is fast moving energy, guys. This is about what you're putting out there, your intention. If you look at the four corners of this reading, it starts with the Ace of Wands. If nothing else, it tells you that during this time you're really learning how to communicate. Um, how to be your unique self. how to recognize, when to use a sword and when to put it down, that type of thing. And then you move into judgment, and judgment feels like it's calling you to something like today, now, soon, right? Soon. But there's something, for some reason, that I feel like, there's this thing in between. There's this thing, and I feel like I almost have like a false thought or false vision of what I think my tomorrow will be. But I feel you're wrong. However, as I say that, at the same time, we have like what I think about, I bring about. What I think about, I bring about. And, how do I get you to turn your thought around? Well, that's what your spiritual team is working on. Okay, we have the Four of Cups. Excuse me. Excuse me for saying this, but I almost feel like this is like I want something. I know I want something, but I'm not putting the action in behind it. Like I want it. I daydream of it. Right? I have visions of it, which is all good if it's, if it's based in reality. I have visions of it. I have visions of what it would be like, but in the same breath, I feel like here I am taking no action. I'm not doing much about it. And I feel like that is why, like, the ascended masters have come to the table, right? Attention. Whatever in that blindfold is like, rip it off, because what I think is going to happen, it's going to be bad. I have a lot to do with that, number one, but I feel like it's not. It's not. So, I feel like it's taking a step towards whatever it is. And again, remember about this year for you. I feel like this is a great year to manifest. But you always want to make sure you're balanced, because if you're balanced, then you're going to bring balanced energy back to you. If it's not, then your intuition is going to let you know. I mean, that's just the way it is. You don't have to question it. It's just the way it is. All right, we have the Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So this is the underlying energy. It's like having an ache. There's like, this ache in my heart. But I feel like even the ache, I'm not saying that, how do I say it? Like, I feel like, truth be told, I still have to move through it. I have to move through it. Some of the hardest things in our lives that can be taken from us, and I'm using myself for an example, like my son, right? Do you think I not asked the question, like, how could you take my son at such a young age? He was 34. But at the same time, I could see it. I saw the path, all of it. I don't know how to explain it. What's my point? Oh, so, it's almost like, I feel like it was, I don't know, I feel like it was part of his destiny, because I feel like it was meant to happen. I don't know how I can say that. I don't mean it like, I mean it like, why am I talking about this? I mean it like, I could see it being created. Almost like I could see where the outcome. But my point is, so here is a mother suffering the loss of her son. And, what comes into my life after the tower, after this? was my first love. So, you know, like, I don't know. I almost feel like deleting the video. But I'm not going to because I feel like I need to allow myself to be raw. Because some of you know what I mean. Okay. We have the Four of Swords coming over the Ace of Swords now. We have the King of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have the Six of Wands. Look at that, Six of Wands coming over the Six of Swords. You know, Six of Swords is traveling through the choppy waters, continuing to move through the choppy waters with the promise that calmer waters will arrive, and then the energy of victory, being victorious right over it. I think what someone needs to see is they're like taking these swords in their back. It feels like over and over and over. And I feel like the more I take this, quicker they come. And it's because, you know, like I feel like I'm fooling myself because I don't want to see it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to know it, but I know it. That's the thing. You know, your higher self knows it. Your whole spiritual team is around you saying, we know it. But none of that matters until you make that, you know, till you see it. You know, and that sounds sad and all that, right? But in the same breath, I feel like, the same breath is like, I feel like something that's not so great. But in the same breath, I have my own visions of what I'd like to see, what I'd like to create. So this can be like where a split, like a split in the road happens. You know, I often say, it doesn't mean that that split can't come back around. Maybe it comes around in a circle. Who knows? But for right now, it feels like, you know, it's splitting. I'm not talking about these people, though. I have to say that. This feels very different. Well, look at this. Hello. You know, I definitely feel judgment is like your whole spiritual team. I'm telling you. Almost like the ascended masters are asking your spirit guides to step back. Maybe God wants to come through. And I feel like it has something to do with this blindfold, guys. Because there's a lot of beautiful energy on this board. But there is... the one difficult area is like within, let's say, like feeling like you're being stabbed in the back. I feel like, you know, something just keeps happening to you. And it hurts. And I feel like, and then it becomes mental. And it feels like you become weaker. You feel like you become weaker. You're not weaker. But it's understandable, right? It's kind of like you're, like someone's sliding right down this tunnel. But I feel like your guides are like bringing you back up. So, anyways, it's interesting because I feel like here's the Two of Cups coming out. And if this has anything to do about love, which I'm sure it does, we have the Ten of Cups. We have the Emperor and the Empress together. I don't think this is the first time this has happened in your reading, by the way. And to me, it just speaks about the power of the two people. And when I mean power, I mean like, you know, the power to be them, themselves, their wisdom, their ability to open and to love and to lead, right? They know it's not just about them, it's about the world. And each had their separate journey. Again, I feel like the Emperor, he's the planner. He's planning it out. The Empress, she's creating. She's building. Anyway, that might be what's out here. And in this Four of Cups of energy, I'm feeling where I'm just like like I'm sitting by a window, just like I can see it out there, right? I can see it out there, but nothing can happen until I make a movement. So I feel like you guys are just saying, hey, here's the Two of Cups. They're looking eye to eye, eye to eye. Isn't that funny? One just went that way, one went that way. I'm going to take this one first. We have Justice. We have, look at this, the Ace of Swords again. Listen, I feel like someone may be going through, I don't think this Emperor and Emperor, in a way, I kind of don't feel like they've been together, or if they have been together, it's been a while. Because I feel like, again, each on their separate path. I definitely know that they are this Two of Cups. I know that. And I know they're both receiving the Four of Swords, this healing, right? It's like the journey and then the healing. Or let's put it a different way, the journey, the healing, and the reflection, right? And the closing and the moving, right? Death or judgment is calling you here. It's about a rebirth. So to me, it feels like new. Anyways, I feel like this emperor may be going through something legal himself, maybe a divorce. I don't know. Um, it definitely feels about him coming to his own balance. I feel like the emperor can be someone, if let's say in a relationship, because you can be the empress and the emperor and still doesn't mean you don't have dark days, right? So I feel like if I'm the emperor and I'm like having a dark day, um, I feel like I would probably, first of all, I'm probably someone who would not show my emotional emotions. That it makes sense. My emotional feelings. Like I'd keep them inside. Um, I feel like this is someone who could even use um, this logical mind as an excuse, right? Like, well, I have to focus here. The people need me. Um, and it may be something that he had to learn, she had to learn. So I'm kind of getting a feeling for this person. And then the Empress, I feel, it would be in the emotional area, the emotional arena. But also, I feel like it's about, this Empress being clear about who she is, right? And what she deserves. The Empress doesn't keep doors open just to keep doors open. The Empress closes doors. She has her sword right there. So, and I feel like the Empress, if you allow yourself to be that energy, it really can trust. Like there's no fear factor. If fear arises, there's danger. Remember that when you're in the Empress energy, if fear arises, there's danger, some type of danger. So you pay attention to that. In the Two Swords with the blindfold, I might not pay attention to that. And I might bring back to me exactly what it is I don't want. Your God's just saying, don't do that, no more. Sometimes I'm giving energy to someone who I think is I'm meant to. you're not. Stop. Like, you don't have to anymore. To a point. Like, yes, if it helped to expand you, um, you know what I mean? But you're not here to fix anyone. You're here to evolve and experience. And when, an experience comes before your path that doesn't feel right, it's not right. And that you can trust on. I think the high priestess wants you to know that, right? Because literally the two of swords is sharing the eight of wands with the high priestess. What I think about, I bring about. What I think about, I bring about. Two of swords, I already fear. I don't want to know the outcome. Like, I know it's going to be bad, right? It's been bad. It keeps happening over and over. It doesn't have to. Because here, what I'm doing is I'm trusting my intuition to guide me to my next step. I do feel like, taking time to heal the mind. And I feel like healing the mind means the thoughts, the beliefs, what you think that you have to take when you don't have to take, who you think is someone that for some reason you feel like you have to be there, you have to take it, or, you think that's just your life. That is just not true, right? You are the creator, you're the artist, you're the conductor. Conduct the orchestra however you like, right? A little bass in it, down here's all the bass. Anyway, let's keep going. I don't know why I stopped. Um, this could certainly be a form of communication that's also coming in. It's interesting now. I see that I'm just realizing the King of Wands is above the Empress. Well. The Queen was a little reluctant. Oh my God, in coming out of the deck. We have the King of Cups, and then we have the Queen of Cups. Um, you know, just the way they're coming out also puts the Queen's back to the King. I'm not going to say the King of Cups is just a water sign, because you're water. So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, whatever it is, this King of Cups is definitely involved in this Ten of Swords. Um, but this Queen of Cups, with her back to it, I think she's turning her back to this king. I feel like she's been wrestling with it, like wrestling with it. And again, I don't want you to think water. I just want you to think the energy of this King of Cups. It's not even this King of Cups. I just feel there's someone out there that, is probably flirty. I don't know, guys. I don't know. You know. You know. So, anyways, like, I can see why the Queen was a little hesitant in coming out, because it does put her back to the King. And it does seem like it's the Queen who is making this decision. This King may have no clue. He may be so busy and involved in himself that he has no clue that, he's about to lose a good woman. Or vice versa, whichever way it is. We have the moon. Look at that. Pisces. Also ruler of Cancer. coming over the Eight of Pentacles. You know, I like seeing that because I felt that right from the get-go. This is talking about you, and where you put your focus is what you're really going to grow this year. This is going to be really, I feel like, a fantastic year for you. But it is a year also of action. I feel like it's a year of action. Because and I feel like, you know, the Eight of Pentacles says, be willing to go into something as the apprentice, right? As the one who knows little. But in this energy, I feel like you grow and you grow and it grows faster. Like, and you learn it quicker and you absorb it. You know what I mean? And before you know, your life is different. This may be where the Emperor enters. This could be, again, well, why not? Because it's like two people, two souls going on this journey that fork off and go in like this circle. And why wouldn't it be the two of them now coming on each other's path? It's like perfect sense. We have the Queen of Wands. Excuse me. We have the King of Wands up here. We have the Five of Cups. You know, honestly, what I'm feeling right now, like, you know, like I'm laying on my bed during the day and I'm just laying there with my head on my pillow and I'm thinking about my life. And I'm thinking about where it is, and I'm thinking, for some, I feel like about someone that you give your love to. I don't know that you give your love to them anymore, but you had. And I feel like, you know, it's sword after sword after sword. But, can I say, I feel like, and I totally get it, I've been on that bed, I've been bawling my eyes out right along with you. But can I say that what this really talks about is, because I feel here like this queen is having some type of, you know, she's taking a blindfold off. It's like enough is enough. No more swords. No more swords are coming in my back. The Ace of Swords to me stands for honesty, truth. And listen, I may demand it. And there's nothing wrong with demanding that. But anyways, I feel like the one thing you want to look at in the Five of Cups is I don't want to get pulled in because, you know, because of what they're doing is of a lower energy. It's almost like by default, you're sucked into it. And it can be easy to become in like into the energy of woe is me, or I'm not strong enough, when it's just not the case. Or this is it, you know, no one's ever going to love me, and, you know, everything that's ever been said, you know, to me and about me is true. And, you know, that's all bull. You know what I mean? Like, you got to look at, like, your sources. Like, break it down like a detective would. Who the hell are they to tell you that you can't be successful? Who the hell are they to tell you that somebody else won't love you? How the hell do they know? Are they a psychic? You know what I mean? And the Five of Cups says, don't give up. Just change. Make the changes necessary. And there's still two cups within that path, right over the High Priestess. So your gut knows this. Like, your higher self knows this. And here is the Two of Cups. Here it is. So I feel like the Queen of Wands coming out is more about the action of the Queen of Wands, where she starts moving truly according to her desires and her passions and what's stirring her, right? You know, almost like I could say to this one person, like, you know, I really enjoy someone who stimulates my mind, but you do the opposite. Like, you scramble my mind. Anyway, anyway. I feel like that's changing, though. Because I feel like that is why, well, that's probably why the death card is showing. Alright, I don't know why I took all these cards. So we have the death card. Card of Scorpio, by the way. Card of endings. But that's so I can allow a rebirth. It may be an ending in the way that I think about my intentions of how I want my life to be and look like, and what I'm willing to put behind it. You know, it's like the universe matches you. I don't know why I keep feeling that this month, like it's 50-50, and like whatever you put out there, the universe is going to match it back, and that you can count on. It may not be what you expect, how you expect it, you know, what you want it to look like, but, you know, if it's not, then it's better. Sometimes you got to give it time. Okay, anyways. Hello, Magician. So, the Magician coming over you and the Eight of Pentacles. Well, Four of Wands. It's a marriage card. The Hangman. It's like all in due time. All in due time. The Fool. And the Five of Swords. You know, I feel like for some, and this may be on both sides of the coin here, I feel like for some are telling people like, this is it. I'm starting new. I've been putting things on hold long enough. I'm starting new. I'm starting as the Fool. Um, I don't care what you say about it, what you think about it. You know, you have the power of the Magician there too. I feel like, listen, if you like, I want the energy of the Four of Wands, and this is where two people want to be together. Like, I can't imagine not being together. Like, the love is transcends them. You have the Ten of Cups here, the Emperor and the Empress, and I feel like that's kind of like your true match. And then the Two of Cups, coming from your ancestors, like, sweetie, here's your Two of Cups. So, and I even feel like there will be a conversation of like, you know, because I feel like honestly, like you've had your heart hurt enough, long enough. But there does come a time when you have to say enough is enough. You know, there has to come a time when you say, I'm worth more than that, right? I'm worth more than that. I didn't come here to live my life in this way. I may think it's the only way, but that's a temporary paralysis of your mind. It's not the truth. So, I feel like this queen is turning her back on the king, and she's starting something brand new. And I feel like in this journey, this is where, you know, I feel like the queen is also the emperor. Remember, I feel like you're all people unless I can feel it like individually. So, I think I'm going to leave there. That's a lot of cards. You know, let's not forget the very beginning of this reading where the Emperor and the Empress are both sharing this Ace of Swords. They're sharing it. This is energy they are sharing. And they're both sharing the energy of the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords is the healing, like the healing of the mind, of the body, of the soul. And then the extra sword is of my own doing. You know, the blindfolds that I wore, the times that I knew, you know, another sword would come, but I took it anyway. So it's my own part in it, and you're only looking at it not to judge anybody, to learn from it. oh, okay, I see what happens. I see the pattern. So, I don't know. It's like, here's this side of the coin, and then there's this side of the coin. And I think you may start on this side, but I feel like you're going to end heads up. Let's put it that way. You may start at tails. You know, you have the Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck. You may be starting at tails, but I feel like you're ending at heads up. A lot of that depends on you. You know, the Fool says, I'm not going to let the past determine what my future is going to be, right? I'm going to create my future from this moment forward. I'm going to take chances. If it pulls me forward, I might move in it, right? The Fool, you know, carries the knapsack of the wisdom, if nothing else, from the ancestors, right? So I feel like, you know, the Hangman has been time long enough, and the Fool is new, almost brand new. So I'm going to leave it there, but I'm going to read the cards. Let me grab a drink real quick. Okay, let's start with God. You prayed for help, and now it's time to allow heaven to assist you. God's love and wisdom have always been available to you, provided that you're willing to trust His divine will. Release any unhealed components of your relationship with your Creator to Mother Mary and the angels in favor of developing a closer and more trusting one. This may require tremendous faith on your part, especially if you can't see a solution to your present situation on the horizon. This card indicates that you've been approaching this situation single-handedly, trying to anticipate and control the outcome by yourself. Anxiety comes from distrust in divine order and timing, along with disappointment when other people don't follow your plans. Surrendering your need to be the scriptwriter helps you relax and actually get better results. God has room to heal you and this situation when you allow Him or her to be in charge. Miracle. It's funny, my daughter got this card, and then the miracle happened in her reading, in the reading I did for her. That's her card. And she got Jesus. She had Jesus and miracle, and you have God and miracle. So I'm telling you, it's like I witnessed it. Okay, miracle. You asked for miracles, and they are given, even if you can't imagine how your present situation could be resolved. God's infinite wisdom contains the solution. This card offers reassurance that a miracle is manifesting for you and your loved ones. It appears in a completely unexpected way. Mother Mary offers you strength and support during this time. She is a source of great emotional comfort and healing. Lean upon her, especially if your faith wavers. Remember that God works with divine timing and may give you guidance as to the necessary steps for you to take to bring this miracle about. Wow. 50-50, baby. 50-50. We're in this 50-50. I love you guys. Thank you for everything. You know, you used to be... okay. Excuse me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I was just gone for a second. Anyway, I just want to thank you for everything. I won't go down the whole list. Just for being part of my community and keeping the channel alive in all the many different ways you do it. My appreciation, and I hope we can help each other for years to come. I feel like a reading like this, I'm actually doing it a little bit early. I feel like something like this, because there's a lot of messages in here. This may be something you may want to revisit, like maybe like mid-January, um, because it may, like, other messages may appear, show up in a different way, because I do feel like this is where you're heading to, but where you're starting, like, I don't know. You'll let me know in the comments. Anyways, guys, I love you. I will see you next time at the table. Bye bye.